We are live here on the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an instant classic. I just botched that there.
The only
Gosh.
classic that is always a podcast, I tell you.
Okay, but today we're here to review the Royal Rumble 2016, and my thoughts on the show. I thought the show was really good. It was better than the last two Royal Rumbles we had, and what were your thoughts on this show? Like, did you like it? Did you hate it?
I definitely liked it, considering there wasn't like it's been a while since there's been a pay-per-view where there wasn't like one match that defined the whole pay-per-view. Like because a lot of times you'll watch many different shows and you'll call it a good show because there was one match that was really really good. So then overall, and it's kind of, most of the time it's the main event. And like for this one, I feel like all the matches were at least pretty good, which kind of made the show feel like it was pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. But let's go ahead and get started with this review. So the first match we're going to be talking about was the kickoff. We had Darren Young and Damian Sando versus the Dudley Boys versus the Ascension and versus Mark Henry and Jack Swagger, which the winners in the match were Mark Henry and Jack Swagger, which I was kind of shocked that they won the match because I thought that they would have gave the win to Damian Sandow and Darren Young, and I was kind of wondering why Darren Young and Tyson O'Neil weren't tagging up. Maybe because Tyson O'Neil was already in the Rumble match. That's why they didn't tag up. Pretty much, I think that's why. Because he was already in the match. But I thought this was a pretty decent kickoff. It had actually a purpose to it because usually these kickoff matches don't really have purposes behind them. Like they just throw people who they see backstage go like, hey, you don't have a match, so you go out there. Like they actually had a purpose. The people who won this match will get into the Royal Rumble match. And what's your thoughts on this match here?
Yes, I agree that it was cool to see a kickoff match that actually have a purpose. Because if it doesn't have a title involved in it, it really doesn't feel like it has a purpose. So that was definitely nice. I agree. I was kind of confused with why Mark Henry and Jack Swagger won, but apparently Mark Henry is planning on retiring sometime soon. He said this could be one of his last, runs. So they're going to let him kind of get it if it's his last, because his hometown is in Texas, so this might be his last WrestleMania. So he might so that's why they let him kind of get in the Royal Rumble this year, just because it might be his last Royal Rumble.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I mean, there's not really much else to talk about the kickoff. Another thing I have to actually say about the kickoff, Devon, he's never been in a Rumble match. I actually figured it out last night. I think it was from you, DJ. Yeah, that's what I figured out from. I'm surprised he's ever been in a Rumble match for how long he's been in WWE. Like he should have been. They should have had the Dudley Boys win last night, but since we had what's his name? Uh, Not Devon. Bubba Ray Dudley,
Yeah.
in the Rumble last year, so maybe that's why they didn't put him in the Rumble this year. Who knows? But yeah, not much else to talk about the kickoff. So we're going to get started with the actual show. So we had the first match was a last man standing match. Dean Ambrose defending the Intercontinental Championship against Kevin Owens, which, in my opinion, I thought this match was really good. The spots that they did in this match are really good, which I was, going into the show, I was thinking this match was going to be really good, and it was. And the winner of the match was Dean Ambrose. He retains his Intercontinental Championship. And when Kevin Owens, he was going for the moonsault, and then Dean Ambrose tosses Kevin Owens off the top rope and into the two stack tables, and he's down for the count of 10. What's your thought on this match?
It's funny. Royal Rumble is the first pay-per-view of the year, but for some reason, it always gives us a match of the year candidate. I thought that was funny. Last year we had the triple threat match with Rollins, Lesnar, and Cena, and then this year we have this last man standing match. I definitely I like this match. It was really good. It was brutal. You know, you saw them kind of just going after each other, you know, in an aggressive manner as they should in a last man standing match, and with the kind of the ramifications of the feud anyway. Yeah, the two stack tables to end the match was really cool. The jabbing of the broken kendo stick and the Ambrose, the cannonball through the barricade. You know, there was a lot of cool moments in this match. This was definitely a match you'd want to go watch again. And if you haven't watched it the first time, you should go watch it at least once. You know, it was a really good match. I liked it. I kind of want to see this feud continue because I definitely like when these guys how these guys work together and stuff like that. But I feel like I'm not sure, especially with the Royal Rumble kind of maybe setting up some different feuds. I'm not sure if they're going to keep this one going or not.
Yeah, and some spots I liked during the match were the cannonball to the barricade. That was really cool. I liked the kendo sticks when they were going at it back and forth with that. I liked with all the chairs that they did with the dirty deeds on the chair. That was really cool. And like I said, I like the table spot. And these guys are really good workers in the ring. And I think this is one of the best Dean Ambrose title defenses he's had since probably TLC. This is probably the best title defense he had because he defended it a few times on SmackDown, and and it's kind of making Dean Ambrose like a legitimate star right now. This kind of like brought out his stardom in this match here. So yeah, like I said, really enjoyed this match. And if you haven't watched this match, like I don't know why you haven't watched it because this match was amazing, probably the best match of the night in my opinion. But yeah, moving on. And then the next match we're going to be talking about is the New Day defending the tag team championships against the Usos, and they debuted the new trombone, which was Francesca 2, or Francesca Dos, as DJ like to say. What is your thoughts on this match?
I definitely thought, for just a normal tag team match with no stipulation, no like, kind of no match type, just kind of a normal match type. It was really good. I like the Usos, and I definitely like the New Day. I think they work well together. I mean, I know like we've seen them a lot, but they're WWE doesn't want to push other tag teams, obviously. So, and it is nice to see these two teams go at it. I like the Usos a lot more than a lot of people do. And obviously I've loved the New Day since they started, but I want to see. I was surprised that the Usos didn't win this match, just simply because it seemed like I said in the review last night, it seemed like that people or that the New Day's reign is getting long, not necessarily boring, not necessarily it's getting old. It's just getting long. It's just a long run. It seems like, and usually when you get on a long run, eventually the title does come off of you. So I'm kind of wondering, is it going to be the Usos to take the title off of them, or are they going to try to have another tag team do it? Because obviously the Usos have had the title, so they kind of have the pedigree to the pedigree. They kind of have the pedigree to take the title off of them. So,
I see what you did there. No pun intended, right?
yeah, no pun intended.
But I thought this match was an all right match, for a tag team match. I agree with you, DJ. I do think their run is getting a little long, and so I think it might be time for them to take the titles off of the New Day. Maybe, maybe like they might do that WrestleMania, like I said last night, they might do it in like a Fatal 4-Way elimination tag team match. Because they always love doing those Fatal 4-Way elimination tag team matches at WrestleMania, and I could see them doing that. Maybe they might bring up the VOD villains. I'm ready for them to come up to the main roster. Like, I'm so ready. Or maybe Colin Cassidy and Enzo. I mean, they would just be great on the main roster. I mean, the fans would just love them. I mean, you wouldn't have to change much stuff about the Big Cass and Enzo. I mean, just copy and paste them to the main roster. But some things I liked out of this match were with, I like the Kofi Kingston spot, with the super kick, like into that big ending. That was probably the coolest spot in the match. But there's not really much else cool spots to talk about. But I'm happy the New Day retained, and yeah, pretty fun match or so. And yeah, moving on. And the next match we're going to be talking about is I think it's the US title match. We have Alberto Del Rio defended the US title against Kalisto. And the winner of the match was Kalisto. He wins by the Selena Del Sol. And DJ, what's your thoughts on this match here?
I really like this match too. I think this match, it was kind of what they called it was a rubber match. I kind of like that they, switched the title back and forth a little bit because you don't see it all the time. It was nice to see. I love seeing these guys go at it because obviously they're two very talented guys. Del Rio doesn't get any lick of credit in WWE. Poor guy, but I definitely, I like seeing these guys go at it. I'm happy that Kalisto, kind of finally got the title. Obviously, he had it not too long ago before, but it's nice to see him go on a singles run hopefully just because Sin Cara is hurt and we don't know, not sure how long he's going to be hurt for. So it'll be nice to see what he does with that title. But for the match, I thought it was really good. I felt like Kalisto's body was just being thrown around in every direction. Whether it was him doing it or whether it was Del Rio doing it, it didn't really matter. He was just getting thrown around. It felt like, but this match was really good. I definitely liked it. It had some nice false finishes there near the end too. I kind of want to see if they're going to keep this going or if this is going to be kind of settled tonight on Raw. And then maybe Kalisto goes into somebody else comes in and challenges Kalisto because Kalisto hasn't really feuded with anybody yet. It's just been Del Rio because it's kind of his first time as a singles guy, so he doesn't have many enemies. It seems like.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm happy Kalisto won because he got the title on Monday Night Raw like it was a few weeks ago, I think, and then he lost it the day after, which I was kind of pissed off about him losing the title because I thought it was their time to make a star of Kalisto. Which another thing, I don't like when they flip-flop the titles like back a whole bunch of times. Like they get back to someone and they get back to another one the next week. I just don't like them flip-flopping the title too much. But some things I liked on this match. I like the I don't know what that move is called. It's like the face buster, the head scissors type of move. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Oh yeah, the I call it a hurricane face buster, but yeah,
the hurricane face
it's
buster.
a head scissors that ends up being a face buster. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the hurricane head buster. I like that face buster. Um, and one thing that DJ pointed out last night, one thing I don't like about the move is like some people don't know really how to sell it, because like their really head doesn't hit the mat a whole lot, and pretty much like only legs hitting it, pretty much like, which I don't understand why. Maybe people need to learn how to sell it better. But I like the high flying moves that Kalisto did during the match. I like the enziguri off the top front, the enziguri that Alberto Del Rio did to Kalisto during the match, and I thought this match was pretty good. I think it was kind of one of their weakest matches, in my opinion. But the probably best match they had was it was probably on that Monday Night Raw where Kalisto won the title. But yeah, and Kalisto, he finally got his big win on like one of the main 4 pay-per-views, which I was really happy about. And hopefully they keep the title with him. And who knows who's going to be feuding with? Maybe they might continue this feud, or maybe they might, just put him in a different feud with somebody else. But who knows? I guess we'll just see on Monday Night Raw tonight. And then the next match we're going to be talking about is the Divas Championship match. We had Charlotte defend the title against Becky Lynch. And the winner of the match was Charlotte. Which, how did she win the match again? I really wasn't paying attention to this match a whole lot.
Ric Flair got involved. She poked her in the eye, hit a spear.
Oh yeah, she hit the spear to retain her title. And I'm really getting sick and tired of this rivalry. And it looks like we're gonna be having Charlotte versus Sasha Banks maybe at Fastlane, going into WrestleMania, which would be pretty awesome. Maybe they could take the title off of Charlotte. That'd be really good. But what are your thoughts about this match, DJ?
I definitely like this match. I don't know. It's still weird though. Like for some reason, even a lot of the guys who get up on the main roster it just doesn't seem the same. Because we've seen. Well, I don't know if necessarily we've seen this match a lot, but like even I feel like when it gets to Sasha and Charlotte, it's gonna feel the same way. It just feels weird. Like I guess we've gotten used to the Divas product not being great, and so you kind of just expect it, and even if it is a little bit better, it still doesn't feel like it's that great. Because I mean, I definitely like the match. It just for some reason I just didn't. I still feel like I'm in that old Divas era where I'm like, this still isn't great. It differs a lot from NXT for some reason. And even though they're using the same people, it still tends to differ a lot for me, I feel like. But I did enjoy this match. I definitely liked it. I just feel like for some reason it just seems like even though we could get this same match in NXT, it still doesn't feel as good as it should. But this match, it had its fair share of exciting things, I suppose. But I think the most exciting thing was at the end. Well, obviously the most exciting thing was Ric Flair stealing that kiss. The kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun. No, but the most exciting thing was Sasha coming out and doing her thing. I was thinking, what if Bailey came out? Like if Bailey would have came out right there, just even as like a tease. Bailey just comes out. Her music hits. She comes out. She kind of like points at the belt or something, holds her belt up, something like that, and then she just leaves. Like they just kind of leave it kind of unsettled, just an open book for when Bailey does come up. I mean, I feel like they could have did it. I know Casey was saying, well, he was like, well, they already got a big pop. I was like, but you can't get, you can't. Why limit your big pops when you have even more big pops you can get? But I definitely liked it. I kind of want to see what's gonna go down with this Charlotte and Sasha. Hope they keep Becky in there though, because I definitely like Beckley. I definitely like Becky, but I want to see if they're gonna try maybe a triple threat feud. Could be an exciting thing.
That could be an exciting thing, but I definitely agree with what you're saying. Like after getting like these bad Divas matches, like over the years, like you just get so used to seeing bad Divas matches. So we're not really used to seeing like good long Divas matches, like except in NXT. But NXT is so much better than the main roster, and that's no question about that. But that'd be pretty awesome. Like I said, to see a rivalry between Sasha Banks and Charlotte, and I like when she locked in the bank statement. I can't even talk right now today. I'm just out of it right now. But yeah, like I said, all right match. And one thing I'm tired of them using, like Ric Flair, like having him like help out Charlotte. I just want her to do it by herself. Like I don't know why. And I'm just tired of them, using Ric Flair to always help out. I just want her to get it done on her own. But that's pretty much all I have to say about that. And the next match we're going to be talking about is the main event. We had the Royal Rumble match, the one versus all. Roman Reigns had to defend his WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the match. And, he was the number one entrant. And the winner of the match was the Game, Triple H. And I'll let DJ, tell his, stuff he liked about the Rumble match, and I'll tell mine at the end here. So, yeah.
All right. So, I definitely thought this Rumble was full of surprises, I guess you could say. Number one, first off, it was nice to, as much as we're kind of confused on, well, who's the number one contender now, going into WrestleMania, because the Royal Rumble usually sets that up. Still, we always talk about how we want something to change. We want it to be different every once in a while. We want something different, and then when they give us something different, we complain about it. So I was definitely excited about this match being for the title, but I just knew Reigns was going to win. Even though in the back of my mind, you obviously have Triple H there. He hasn't been there in a while, so you're like, oh, obviously, Triple H has a chance. But I think you always think, well, Reigns is gonna win. They're trying to make Reigns look really strong. They're trying to, make him look like a legitimate champion. So why not beat 29 other guys and retain your title? And I was really surprised. Obviously, we got to see AJ Styles come out there, which was a nice thing to see. Definitely like that. It was weird, but it was cool at the same time. We got what else did we get? Obviously Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family were dominant. It felt like they were really trying to build up Braun Strowman. It seemed like in this match, more than anything. When are they gonna? I'm just wondering when are they gonna give Bray a chance at a title? Because I mean,
one thing I have to say about that there, I've been hearing rumors that we're going to be having Braun Strowman versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 32, which I think that'd be a pretty good match to see.
Yeah, it would give Braun some street cred, I guess you could say. I don't know if you need street cred in wrestling, but you know what I mean, like the wrestling version of street cred. It would give him some credibility more than anything. Because
Have him have his own undefeated streak at WrestleMania.
maybe I don't know if they would do that though. I'm not sure because Braun is still within a faction, so he's still secondary to Bray. It seems like to me. But they are trying to build him up. You could tell he eliminated Kane, he eliminated Big Show. The whole Wyatt family eliminated Brock Lesnar. They eliminated who's the other guy eliminated? Mark Henry was another guy they eliminated. So, the Wyatt family was pretty dominant. I thought it was cool that we saw a lot of factions come out, but every person in the faction wasn't in the Royal Rumble. I think that was nice. Another thing that I forgot to mention last night on the review was that Rusev came in second against Roman Reigns, and he got eliminated pretty quickly, which I hated because it just shows you how much Rusev as a character and as like a dominant guy has changed. Because last year at this time he was, I mean, even just starting out he was just dominant, and like now it just seems like he's just a shell of what he used to be, which I hate saying because I love Rusev. Let's see what else. Sami Zayn was there. I was excited about that, but he didn't really stay in as long as I feel like maybe he should. I don't know if they really, created anything for him. It's still kind of confusing with Sami Zayn what they're gonna do. Kind of brings in a little bit more intrigue. Um, and then yeah, Triple H. Triple H came in number 30 and ended up winning. I'm not necessarily surprised. I think the stare down between Triple H and Roman Reigns was really cool. Definitely like that. I'm kind of, I obviously Triple H is going to keep it through not through WrestleMania, but at least 2 WrestleMania, and then maybe Reigns will get his big moment. I'm kind of wondering though, how's this going to play out? Is he going to come out in the whole authority gimmick, or is he going to come out in like, I'm the game, I'm the champion type of a gimmick again? And because they could obviously go with that. He could obviously be like, although I'm in the authority, I'm still, a dominant wrestler, 14-time world champion now. So, and I'm just saying, we never complain about Triple H being a 14-time world champion, but we'll complain about Cena being. Anyway, Justin, do you have thoughts on?
Well, you're about to get me on the rant there for a minute.
I'm just saying. We complain about John Cena in a minute, but I mean, Triple H is right there. He's right there with Ric Flair. Now he was. Don't get me wrong. He was one of the all-time greats. So I just wanted to say it. I'm just trying to stick up for Cena. He doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, I bet Casey was there going like, "Oh, Cena sucks," and I'm thinking that in my head right now, he sucks. But the stuff I liked out of this Rumble match was definitely AJ Styles, freaking awesome. I thought that he was going to be debuting tonight, but I'm so happy they did that at the Royal Rumble. Something big at the big pay-per-view. I'm happy they did that. I freaking marked out like bananas. You can go check that out in the live reaction we did on the Instant Classic Wrestling podcast. Which a link will be down below, so you guys can go subscribe to his channel. That's a short little plug right there. I liked, Braun Strowman. I definitely agree. Braun Strowman was really dominant because, they made him eliminate the Big Show single-handedly. They made him eliminate Mark Henry single-handedly. They pretty much made him eliminate all the big men single-handedly, except, Brock Lesnar. He was pretty dominant, gave a whole bunch of people suplexes. And Brock Lesnar pretty much eliminated the whole Wyatt family twice during the match, which I thought that was funny because, they made him go over top rope again. But then they got back in the ring and eliminated Lesnar during the match. I like the thing with the factions, like how they made them, like how they all made them come out together, except for the Wyatt family. They came out separate. But, the social outcasts that came out together, which the person who was in there for the social outcast, which was Curtis Axel, he's been in the Raw match for a year. He should be exhausted, but no, he wasn't exhausted. But no, he finally got eliminated, and he's finally out of the Rumble. Man, he's the true MVP, no pun intended. But, yeah. What else was here? I like the thing with Kofi Kingston when he landed on Big E's shoulders and he went over into the corner. There was this guy in the front row who just kept like he had like a plaid T-shirt on. He just kept staring at like Kofi Kingston. Goes like, "You won't get in the ring." Because hey, if you don't get in the ring, I'll hop in the ring. I thought that was funny, like how the guy just kept staring at Kofi Kingston. The whole deal with the popcorn, and him getting eliminated that way. I thought that was pretty funny. Kevin Owens eliminating AJ Styles, so maybe we could be getting AJ Styles versus, Kevin Owens, maybe going in the Mania stuff. That'd be pretty awesome, dude. Sami Zayn being in the Rumble, that was pretty awesome. He eliminating Kevin Owens during the match, which I'm kind of confused. Is he fully on the main roster, or is he still down in the NXT? Maybe I just don't know right now if he's going to be on Monday Night Raw night, which would be pretty awesome if he is. But who is Sami Zayn going to be feuding with? Is he going to be feuding Kevin Owens? But maybe we have AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. I mean, who knows right now? But of course, we had Triple H, winning the Rumble, which that was my predictions. That was my prediction. And I definitely agree with the Rusev type of thing. He's pretty much became a shell of a person right now. Like his character has gone down a little bit, because last year this time, he was the U.S. champion. He was undefeated. I think, yeah, he was still undefeated. He still hasn't got pinned last year. And, Roman Reigns and Rusev, they were the two last people in the Rumble last year, and they started out the Rumble together this year, which I thought was pretty cool there, because they've done that a few years. Like I remember they did that in the 2008 Rumble with Undertaker and Shawn Michaels.
I got two more things. Number one, TNA congratulated AJ Styles for going into the Royal Rumble. So mad respect to them for that. And number two, another Cena thing. So when are you guys gonna get mad that Cena, killed Rusev? when is this gonna happen? I see it happening. When is Casey and Justin gonna team up on me?
He did kill Rusev. Like he brought his golden shovel at WrestleMania.
No, because
Yes.
Cena. The issue is Cena isn't booking. Cena isn't on the creative team. Just because you lose to Cena doesn't mean you have to die. You have to retire.
I mean, everybody runs into the Cena wall eventually. I mean, Ed serious. Everybody runs into that Cena wall.
I just think it's weird because, I don't know. It's just weird to me. I just feel like they could, like they don't, and it seems more or less that it's Cena and more that it's the way they book everyone after Cena. Like they just don't book them as anything anymore. They just book them as something that's a shell of what they are.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, everybody runs into that Cena wall eventually. Like, because once you get to that mountaintop, Cena's gonna be waiting there to just knock you off your pedestal. It just happens to everybody. Or Triple H will knock you off your pedestal. I mean, any of the big names that are established, they'll just knock you down if you don't have a name for yourself already. But yeah, that was our Rumble 2016 review. I about said 2015 there for me. We're not in last year. We are in 2016. And don't forget to subscribe to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, and I mean always, an instant classic. And don't you ever forget that. Finally got it right there. Didn't botch it that time. That's a good thing. And like I said, go subscribe to his channel, which the link will be down below. And don't forget to follow the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast on Twitter, which you can see that right there. And go follow me on Twitter at the True JSB, which you can see that also. And don't forget to subscribe to Juggernaut097. While you're here, it's one little subscribe. That's all it takes. One little subscribe. But yeah, I thought this show was really good. And one more thing I have to add, DJ, what was your match of the night last night?
My match of the night, I think, was the Last Man Standing match. There were a lot of crazy stuff going on within it. And like I said, I feel like it's gonna still be there at the end of the year. Saying, hey, don't forget about me. So I definitely like that match, and I'm loving what Dean and Kevin, or Owens and Ambrose, however you want to say it. I love how they're what they're doing together. I kind of hope it continues.
Yeah, definitely. And My favorite match tonight was the Divas. No, it wasn't the Divas match. It was actually the Last Man Standing match. Like all the crazy spots that they did in this match. I thought they could have went maybe into the crowd during the match, and that'd been pretty cool, to do some crowd fighting. But no, they didn't do that. And yeah, but that's pretty much all. Like I said, don't forget to follow all of our stuff and do all that stuff. And yeah, I guess we're saying peace out. I'll catch you guys on the flippity dippity side. That's for Casey right there. And peace out.